Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思吃都还难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei, and today, as usual, we have Tony Reed.
How's it going, everybody? Pleasure to be here and hopefully take away something from this show.
And Tony, I do have a question for you. I'm not sure if you know about a Chinese saying which is very popular in northern part of China, which is 上车饺子,下车面.
No, I think I heard two dishes of food. I heard mian and then I heard jiaozi. I'm not sure if that's the correct ones or not.
Yes, they're correct. It means 饺子 for those getting aboard and noodles for those getting off. So
Okay.
it's sort of a tradition that we serve 饺子 for the friends and family that are leaving us to another place. And we serve noodles to welcome them back at home.
So jiaozi is for people coming in and then noodles are for people going out.
No, it's the other way around. 饺子 for those leaving us and to another place, and noodles for those, well, coming in.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
So it's a tradition, sort of as a way of saying goodbyes and also welcoming. It's also part of a topic for today's episode, which will be us talking and learning about saying goodbyes in Chinese. 说再见. It's not a new thing for you, right?
I know one way to say goodbye. That's the way that most people say it. But I don't know, it'd be kind of cool, I guess, to learn other ways.
Yeah, and first of all, as usual, we have a small dialogue ready to practice.
时间过得可真快，明天我就该走了，真有点舍不得离开这里。
是啊，很高兴这段时间能和你一起逛景点、吃美食，希望我们以后还能再见面。
谢谢你对我的照顾，有机会一定要来找我玩。
会的，祝你一路顺风。
It's sort of a simple but also kind of complicated one for you, I think, because there are a lot of quite long sentences. And we'll start with the first one. 时间过得可真快，明天我就该走了，真有点儿舍不得离开这里。
So this is how time flies. I'm leaving tomorrow, and I really don't want to go. Yeah?
Yes?
All right. So 时间 is normally time. And then 过, I think this symbolizes the passive tense.
过 here actually means pass. 过得 means past.
Okay. So 过 means past. And then 可真快. So 真快 is very fast.
Yes.
I'm not sure what 可 is here.
可 is another amplifier here. It sort of amplifies the very fast part. 可真快.
Okay, so this is like another very on top of a very.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then 明天, that's tomorrow. 我就 it means like then, right?
Sort of. It kind of goes together with 该 after it. 就该 sort of meaning supposed to. I'm supposed to do something.
Oh, okay. So 就该 supposed to 做了. So 做 is go, right?
Yes.
And then 真有点 or 点, right?
Yeah.
I think this 有点 or 点 is like somewhat in some way.
Yeah, a little.
This other one 舍不得, I think this is a new expression for me. This is like hate to do something, right?
Yes, 舍不得. It's a very useful and I think can be very difficult for English speakers to understand. Really get the essence of 舍不得.
Oh, okay.
But it's quite useful. You can use it in many occasions in Chinese. It can mean I hate to leave. 我舍不得离开. It can also mean when you have something too good that you don't want to use.
Well, I think I can remember that. And as you said, 离开 is leave, and then 这里 is here.
Yes,
right?
yes. And then we have 是啊，很高兴这段时间能和你一起逛景点，吃美食。
All right, so that means I know it was nice visiting all the scenic spots and eating delicious food with you during this time. So, 是啊, this is a way of saying yes, or in this case, like an agreement sound, right?
Yes.
很高兴, this is like very happy, right? And then 这, I think this normally symbolizes this.
Yes.
Yeah. And then 短时间. So 时间, I think that's time.
Yes.
Right? And then 短, before that, maybe that's a quantity.
It is a measure word. It's 这段时间, this period of time.
Okay, so 短 is only used for time, or is it used for other things? When do we use 短? When do we use 个?
短 refers to like a section of things, like a small segment of a longer one. For example, this section of time, and can also refers to, for example, this section of distance.
All right. So 短时间, 能, normally 能 is can. 和 here, is this and?
Well, it doesn't mean and in English, I guess, but it means with you. 和你.
Oh, 和你, so yeah, with you. 一起, this together.
Yeah.
And then 逛景点. So 逛is like to like walk or like kind of stroll, right?
Yes, yes.
And then 景点, and I think that's the scenic places. 吃美食. So 吃 is eat, and then 美食, I think this is 美 is beautiful, and then I think 吃 must mean 食物, so delicious, beautiful food, or
yeah, 美食, it means tasty and delicious food. It's an expression that we refers to, for example, when we're trying to say cuisines, like the local cuisines, 地方美食, and it just means delicious and sometimes beautiful looking food.
All right.
And then we have 希望我们以后还能再见面.
So this is, I hope we can meet again in the future, yeah?
Yes.
All right, so 希望, I think this is hope.
It is hope.
Okay, and then 我们 is we, and then 以后 is like,
afterwards.
I think this is afterwards, right?
Yeah, in the future.
Okay, in the future. And then 还, I think this is like still or yet.
Yeah.
And then 能 is can, and then 在 sometimes is a preposition for like at or in, but I think here it's different, right?
Oh, it's written differently. It sounds the same as 在, meaning at or in or any preposition, but here it means again, 在.
Oh,
it was written differently,
okay.
but sounds pronounces the same.
Okay. And then 见面. Okay, I think this has a meaning of meeting, right?
Yes, 再见面, meet again. And then the other speaker responds with 谢谢你对我的照顾.
This is thank you for taking like care of me.
Yeah.
So 谢谢你 is thank you. And then 对我, I think this is like towards me.
Yes, right? Yes.
照顾. I think this one is a like kind of like take care or look after or something. Right?
Yes, 照顾. It can also be used this dialogue's case. They're new to the place and you 照顾 the newcomer. It can also means you take care, for example, a family member who is sick at the moment. 你照顾他.
Okay, makes sense.
And then 有机会一定要来找我玩.
This is do come visit me when you have the chance. So yeah, visit me again whenever you have a chance. 有机会. So what exactly is 机会?
机会 is the chance, an opportunity.
Okay. 有机会, so have a chance. 一定, I think, is that already or definitely?
Definitely. 一定 is the
Definitely.
emphasis here. Yeah, definitely.
要来, so is this like want, come?
一定要
And then
is sort of the compound phrase here. Do or definitely do.
Definitely do. Okay. 一定要来, so definitely come. And then 找我玩. So that means just visit me, right?
Yeah, 找 meaning find me. 玩 I think is a tricky one. The direct translation is play. Play with me.
Okay.
But in Chinese, 玩 can be used in different occasions. For example, you can use 玩 when you are actually going out with a friend to hang out in different places. 一起玩, you play together or have fun together. And then it can also be used when you are trying to say that visit me. 找我玩, come and visit me. 找我玩. It can also be used when children gather together and play with each other. It can also mean, adult friends hang out in different places, travel to different places, visit each other at their homes or apartments and things like that.
Very versatile. Okay.
And then the last one, 会的,祝你一路顺风.
Okay. This is like okay, or that's sounds like a plan or deal.
Yeah.
And then have a safe trip.
Yes.
So, yeah, as we mentioned, 会的, is this, I haven't heard this one as an agreement term. Does this have a specific meaning? Like,
I think it does, because in the longer sentences to understand 会的, 会 here can be meaning a future tense, like 我会找你玩, I will visit you. In a shorter form, when you are trying to use it in a spoken language, it means I will, 会的,我会的, I will.
Okay, got it. So 会的, 祝你, so this is wish you.
Yeah.
一路.
I
think this is, 一路. Is that journey?
Yes, kind of. 一路顺风 is the idiom here that you use for saying goodbyes to your friends and you wish them having a safe trip. 一路顺风.
Okay. So what exactly does 顺风 mean?
If you look back at the origin of this expression, it probably refers to when people are taking ships. When in ancient times, when people going out for trips, they would probably taking a ship or boat. And the wind sort of determines how fast you can travel on your boat or your ship. And you'll sort of wish them to have a fast and smooth trip along the way.
Safe sailing or safe sails. Yeah. All right. I think we pretty much wrapped up this conversation.
Do you want to give it a go?
All right. Yeah, I think I'll go first.
Great.
时间过得可真快，明天我就该走了，真有点舍不得离开这里。
是啊，很高兴这段时间能和你一起逛景点、吃美食。希望我们以后还能再见面。
谢谢你对我的照顾，有机会一定要来找我玩。
会的，祝你一路顺风。You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Fei Fei and Tony Reed. If you have any questions, you can always reach us at learnchinese@cri.com.cn. You can also follow us on Facebook by searching Learn Chinese to watch many fun videos and live streams. And coming up next, let's learn more about saying goodbyes in Chinese. 告别 or 说再见. Don't go away, so you'll take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei, joined by Tony Reed. So Tony, we talked about a small dialogue about saying goodbyes to your friends. I think one simple way of saying goodbye is 再见.
Right.
Right?
再见.
We use that pretty much in every episode, in the end of every episode. And I think there are more than a dozen of different ways of saying goodbye in Chinese, actually.
Okay.
Other than
all right.
再见. The simpler one would be bye bye.
Oh, bye-bye. Yeah, that's English.
Yeah, that's from English. But unlike English, when most people will just say one bye, bye, in Chinese, we say two byes. Bye-bye.
I mean, we say that in English too, but it's normally to like maybe our child or,
in a cute way.
In an endearing way for, yeah.
But there are also other expressions. For example, when we are trying to say see you tomorrow or see you next time, that is 明天见, see you tomorrow.
Oh, 明天见. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, or 下次见, see you next time.
Right, 下次见. Okay,
Yeah.
I think I know those. Cool.
But I think 下次 is an interesting word here because it's used like English when you didn't really want to set a date with that person, but out of manners, out of good gestures, you use the next time as a polite way of, never say never. 下次见.
Right.
Right?
You don't know when it's going to be, so it's kind of random. So you just say, I'll see you next time. Yeah, that's pretty much what I prefer to, say either that or, of course, 再见, because that's just see you again.
Yeah.
That's not saying farewell.
In some cases, when you meet someone that are not that close, sometimes you will make this empty promise about, we should have dinner sometime. We should grab a coffee sometime. And then we also kind of use that expression in Chinese, which is 下次一起吃饭.
Oh, 下次一起吃饭. So yeah, let's eat together next time.
Yeah.
But this is not good, I think, if you make these kinds of promises. I mean, if you say that, then in most cases, it means that there's some attraction because maybe you guys work in the same industry. Perhaps this is a networking opportunity, or maybe you like the person and you want to date them or something. And most of the time, people don't throw this out there if they don't mean it. So if someone says that and they don't mean it, I think that's kind of cruel.
But that depends on if that person really follows up with a question about, exactly when and where are we supposed to have dinner together. If they just close the conversation with 下次一起吃饭, and you sort of get that meaning of you're not really that close, but that person is trying to sort of maintain a relationship with you out of different reasons. Maybe you work in the same industry, out of networking, out of politeness.
Wow, that's really tricky. And also, I guess that sounds like a lot of times in Chinese, people will say, 你吃了吗? This happens almost every day. And at first, I was like, oh, wow, that's really considerate. That's one of the most considerate things that people have asked.
Yeah.
Like, wow, have you eaten something? And if you say no, it almost seems like this person is going to offer you something to eat, or they have some concern about your appetite. But I think this is also what you just explained, just an etiquette or a question to ask to kind of fill the space between awkward encounters.
Yeah. It's like when in English, I think I also have that problem when people ask me, how are you? They are not really asking how am I been doing so far. I'm supposed to be just respond with, yeah, I'm okay. I'm pretty good. I'm wonderful. And then we sort of carry on with other things. But if I respond with not that good and I start complaining about the problems that I have right now. Sometimes it's not really the intention of the other part of the conversation to really care about what's going on with my life. They're just being polite and ask that question of how are you?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's a pretty good example. Because some people, I mean, like me, when I ask people, how are you? I actually mean it. Like, I want to know how you're doing. But yeah, I think maybe that's just a greeting for some people.
Yeah. And there is another, I think, interesting one is that in phone calls in Chinese, when you are trying to close that phone call, you're trying to hang up, of course, you can say 再见 or bye-bye or 明天见. But of the most frequent used phrase is actually 挂了啊.
挂了啊.
挂了.
What does that mean?
挂 actually means hang up the phone. 挂电话, hang up the phone. And by saying 挂了, meaning I'm gonna hang up.
It's so literal. And like in English, that's so rude, actually.
Yeah, but that's especially happening among like friends, co-workers, when you have some discussions and then you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna hang up now. 挂了, meaning bye-bye.
Wow. Okay.
That's an interesting one.
All right. That's 挂了.
挂了.
I guess the ahs is kind of asking if it's okay in a way, huh?
Not really. It's like you are sort of informing the other part of the conversation that I'm gonna go. That's here
The
that
gives it a softer
yeah, just
tone,
the softened
right?
tone here. So 挂了. I use 挂了 in the end of every phone calls with my parents, with my other family members. It's not rude.
So you're not cutting them off. You're not saying, okay, you're talking too much. I'm hanging up.
No. You can also give an explanation when you are really in a rush, like I'm going to a meeting and I have to go, or I have something else coming up and I have to go. And you can give a really brief explanation like, 我还有事儿, I have something, 挂了啊. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hang up.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, in English, that's
rude.
Sounds
Yeah.
a bit abrupt, but
Yeah.
okay.
But 挂了 is only used among like close friends, family members. You can't really use that in, for example, when you are trying to talk with your, for example, supervisors. You can't say 挂了 to your boss. And of course, you can't say 挂了 to a business partner, of course. It's not really that polite. It's not that formal.
Okay.
And another one I think I often hear a lot of foreigners talking about is another way of finishing off phone calls in Chinese using a lot of and then they hang up.
Oh yeah, I hear that too.
Did you hear that before?
Oh yes, many times. And to me, it sounds like again, this person just wants to get off the phone and whatever you say, I'm not concerned about it. Just stop talking so I can get off the phone.
It's like a habit, out of habit. It doesn't really meaning they're really impatient or they really want to get off the phone. Now it's just a habit of saying all the time throughout the phone calls, especially my parents' generation. And they keeps repeating that it's like and then they hang up. Which can sound really, really weird to people who don't understand Chinese.
Yeah, I do that actually too, but not as aggressively. I don't normally do it. I just do one. I just go Right.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned hui. Is there an actual translation for this, or does this need to be used next to a certain word? Normally it's next to a verb of some sort.
I think it normally comes before a verb. For example, 明天会下雨吗?
下雨. Is this rain?
Yes. Is it going to rain tomorrow?
Oh, okay. In this context, hui is kind of like will.
Yes. It normally carries the meaning of giving out the future tense kind of meaning in Chinese because we don't have that future tense in our verbs. And we have words like hui to indicate that the action is taking place in the future.
Okay, that makes sense. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So 他会来看你. So he will come to see you. Right?
Yes. 你明天会来吗? Will you come tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, will you come tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's so simple. I think I can practice that a little bit.
Yes. It's easier one to indicate the future tense with the word 会. And the last word I think you kind of have a small question about is the word 可 as an amplifier. It often used before a verb as well to sort of emphasize that verb. Like 这个菜可好吃了. This dish is so delicious.
Okay, so it's just an amplifier on top of an amplifier because Thai, you already said Thai, right? So 可太好吃?
可太好吃了.
可太好吃了.
Yeah, so delicious. Or I'm so tired. Like 我可太累了.
可太累了. Can we use 可 without using the Thai? Can we just say 可累了?
Yeah, 可累了 is also makes sense. 我可累了, I'm so tired. And 可太累了 is sort of taking that level of tiredness up another level.
Oh, that's also quite simple.
Yeah,
just an amplifier.
Yeah.
Cool. 非常感谢.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei with Tony Reid here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can listen to the show and read the script there.
Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and much more. Just search for Takeaway Chinese, and don't forget to leave your comments, questions, and ratings.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
再见.